Hi everyone, this is Casey Astrology. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the nodes of the moon transiting through Aries and Libra. So this is a transit that began in July of 2023, earlier this summer, and it's going to last until January of 2025. So it's been about 2 months ago that this transit began. And the lunar nodes change signs from Taurus and Scorpio into the axis of Aries and Libra. So currently, Rahu, or the north node of the moon, is in Aries, and Ketu, or the south node, is in Libra. So a lot of pop astrology or popular astrology puts a great deal of emphasis on wherever Rahu is in the sky. So you've probably seen quite a few videos or social media posts online about the Rahu being in Aries and the effects of that. So I decided in this video I'm going to be talking more about what it's like having Ketu in Libra and the effects of that, because the south node in the natal chart, whatever zodiac sign it's in, tells us a lot about what we're trying to perfect in this lifetime. Or when it's a transit, like how Ketu is currently transiting Libra, it shows us the areas of life in that we're trying to perfect and resolve over the next 1.5 years. And Libra is the sign of trade and trading partners. Gemini says if the soul's planet is in Libra, a person will be skilled at trading. And if you don't know who Gemini is, just briefly, he was an ancient Vedic rishi who created a system of astrology called Gemini astrology. And this system has been translated from ancient Sanskrit, and it's actually been translated by Ernst Wilhelm, who's my teacher, and it's still used today. So this is where this text is coming from. So Gemini says, if the soul's planet is in Libra, a person will be skilled at trading. Meaning, when you get the nodes in the Aries Libra axis, you're dealing with the balance of self and trading partners. And of course, Libra is symbolized by a man in a bazaar holding a pair of scales. So he's weighing and measuring things. It's a sign of exchange, and there are a lot of different ramifications to that. This can be exchange between business partnerships all the way to exchange between relationships. So now that we know a little bit about how Libra operates, let's look at some different ways how this Ketu in Libra will show up in your mundane life. I'm going to be sharing 5 different ways that Ketu in Libra will be showing up in your mundane life. So the first way that this can happen is through you receiving a lot of unsolicited advice and opinions about your value and worth. And usually, because it's in the sign of Libra, Ketu, it's going to be coming from your close family members and loved ones and people that you interact with on a daily basis through relationships. And again, this could be romantic relationships, this could be partnerships, this can be relationships with your family and friends, things of that nature. Basically, relationships of any kind. Now, the house cusp is actually really important here because it will show you who specifically the unsolicited advice and opinions is coming from. So knowing where Libra is in your zodiac and the house cusp that falls in it is going to be really helpful here. So for example, if Ketu in Libra falls in your second house, it will be the unsolicited advice and opinions will be coming from your immediate family members and friends regarding the way that you handle your responsibilities. It could be regarding your cooking skills or lack thereof, or your eating habits, your net worth, and the value that you contribute to society. And this is because the second house has to do with our overall net worth. It has to do with how we take care of our family and our friends, and our immediate responsibilities. And it has to do with food as well, and eating good food that's gonna nourish your body. So that's how it's going to show up for you if you have Ketu in Libra in your second house. Another example, if Ketu in Libra is transiting your sixth house, you'll be getting unsolicited advice and opinions from your enemies, bosses, or coworkers regarding your work ethic. It could be regarding your health and fitness or your daily routine, how you pay your bills and debts, things of that nature. So make sure that you look at the house cusp that Ketu is falling in your chart to figure out where you're going to be getting unsolicited advice and opinions about your value and worth from people in your life. So the second way that Ketu in Libra will be showing up in your mundane life is through people expecting you to ask their permission or opinions about your personal decisions. And this is because the sign of Libra has to do with our partnerships and relationships. So wherever Libra again falls in your chart, whatever house cusp, those people in your life are going to really want to chime in and kind of be your little peanut gallery and giving you or expecting you to ask, what their opinion is, ask how they feel about whatever decisions that you're making. And if you don't ask them, you're going to get a little bit of flack for that as well. Because Libra is the sign of how we go about getting what we want by trading with other people and making deals with them. And so if you're someone who's very independent minded and is used to making your own decisions and, not having to ask permission or tell people what you're doing beforehand, this is going to be something that you find a little challenging with this transit of Ketu being in Libra. So that's something to keep in mind for this transit. The third way that Ketu in Libra will show up in your life in a mundane way, the transit of Ketu in Libra, is through receiving criticism about give and take. So it could be you giving too much in relationships or not giving enough. So this can have to do with struggling to break people-pleasing habits and codependency, or paying too much of a price for something or too little for something that you want. And this ties into my fourth point of how this transit will show up in your life, and that's paying too much or too little for something. And what I mean by that is Libra is ruled by the planet Venus, and Venus is interested in the utility of things or how useful things are to you. And Libra and Venus engage in relationships with people in order to get more of what they want in life through exchanging with those people. So if you're in a relationship where you feel like you're doing so much for the other person and they're not contributing the same way that you are, so you're giving too much and they're giving too little, or it could be the other way around where you're giving too little into the relationship and you're getting a lot back and it's unstable and it's unsustainable. This is going to be a common theme in your life between July of 2023 and January of 2025 with this transit of Ketu going through Libra. So there's going to have to be a balancing of the relationships in your life and how much or how little you're giving to those people and to those things. And this ties into the fifth way that Ketu and Libra will show up in your life, and this can be through relationships dissolving, especially when, again, they're unsustainable, and unsustainable trading is taking place between partners. Again, this can be business partners, this can be romantic relationships, this can be relationships with your family members, your siblings, your coworkers, any kind of relationship in your life There can be an aspect of if those relationships are unbalanced and they're unsustainable for the long term, there's unsustainable trading going on, you can see those relationships dissolving in your life. And again, this will all be depending on the house cusp, where the house cusp of Libra falls in your chart. And that's where you'll see where this will be taking place in your life, what it involves, and who it involves. And of course, this is the most obvious way that Ketu in Libra has been showing up recently is we're seeing a lot of news about celebrity breakups. So there's a lot of relationships dissolving. For example, we've seen Britney Spears break up with her husband. Joe Jonas has broken up with his wife, Sophie Turner. And just recently, Hugh Jackman, it's been reported that he's getting a divorce as well from his wife, Deborah Furnish. So relationships dissolving, there can be a lot of divorces going on, especially if there's, unsustainable trade happening, or there's where one person is giving too much or too little, and the partnership becomes unequal. So look out for that in your life for the remainder of this transit from July 2023 to January 2025. And yeah, so that was all of the ways that I wanted to share with you of how Libra, or how Ketu, or the South Node transiting Libra, will show up in your life. So that's everything I wanted to say about the effects of Ketu transiting Libra. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and would like me to make a video talking about the effects of Rahu in Aries next, or the North Node in Aries next, please leave a comment, and don't forget to like the video, subscribe, all those fun things. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video where I talk about the effects of Rahu transiting Aries.